Good morning. Welcome to our early morning Pilates class. Thank you so much for joining us today. All you're going to need is your mat. And we are just going to start with a quick warm up since our bodies are probably a little bit still sleepy, a little bit still stiff. So go ahead and just nod your head yes in an exaggerated way, chin down to your chest and up to the sky. Nice and slow. Just getting some breath flowing through your body. Let's go ahead and shake our heads no really slowly to the right and to the left. Not stretching too far, just enough that you feel a little bit of a stretch. We hold a lot of tension in our necks and our cervical spines. It's good just to kind of let that go at the beginning of class. And let's go ahead and just do a couple side stretches. So one arm down long on the mat and just reach the other one up to the sky and bend over. Nice side bend stretch here. Remembering this morning that we're moving our bodies because we love our bodies. We're not moving them to change them or because there's something wrong with them. We're moving them out of gratitude and an act of honor toward our bodies and what they can do. Let's switch sides with that side bend. Deep breaths through the nose, out the mouth. Good. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started with the movement here. So we're going to get down on our mat, feet on the mat, knees bent. We're going to be down on our backs. And before we do anything, we are just going to do a little bit of a checklist to make sure that our spines are nice and safe in this lying position here. So we're going to be in what we call neutral spine. And the way that you find neutral spine, I want you to go ahead and put your fingertips on your pubic bone and let your wrists rest on those kind of jutty out hip bones. And we are going to try to make this little area, this little triangular region right here, nice and horizontal. So if I was going to put a hot cup of tea on that lower part of your stomach, it would be like a tabletop so that it's not splashing back toward your stomach and it's not splashing all over the place. It's nice and steady. That's how you know you're a neutral spine. This is also going to create a small gap between your back and the mat. So you could maybe slide a little bit of your hand underneath between your mat and your back. So that's how you know you're in neutral. I also want you to squish your fingertips into your lower stomach and cough a couple times. And you see how your abs engaged. You felt a little bit of a retraction in your stomach. Go ahead and do it again. That's your transversus abdominis, the deepest layer of the 6 layers of your abdominal wall engaging and waking up. So go ahead and try to hold that engagement just as far as you can while as much as you can while you're still able to breathe and move. Okay, so we're going to hang on to that engagement through class today, and we're going to start with our neutral series. So with that teacup on your lower belly nice and steady, I want you to lift your right leg up to tabletop and then slowly put it back down, and your left leg up to tabletop and set it back down, and just keep going at your own pace. You can even leave, like I am, leave your hands over top of between your pubic bone and your hips like we started with, just to remind yourself to keep your spine in neutral, and you'll be able to feel if it's moving unnecessarily. We want it to be really still in this position. And I also want you to think about, even though this is your legs moving in this position, I want you to think about really it being your abs that's doing all of the work, that your abs are retracting and lifting your leg up as opposed to just throwing your leg up in the air. So there's 3 levels to the neutral series, and we're going to try all 3 of them today. If any of them don't feel good to you, definitely just go ahead and go back to the previous level. So we're going to try level 2 right now. Next time you get your right leg up to tabletop, I want you to really engage that core, and we're going to lift your left leg up to meet it in tabletop, and then right leg down and left leg down. Nice and slow movement. To start with the left side now up to tabletop. Really engage that core, right leg up to tabletop. The hot cup of tea on your tummy is still nice and steady. Keep going at your own pace, breathing normally. Oh my gosh, I don't normally do classes this early in the morning, and the birds above me in the sky are really very active right now. There's like hummingbirds and bluebirds, and goodness, I'm a little distracted by all of their activity. Okay, we are going to do level 3 now of the neutral series. And so you are going to hold your legs up in tabletop, and then we're just going to drop your right toes down to the mat and then bring it back up to tabletop, and the left. So this one is quite a bit harder than the first 2 levels. So if this doesn't feel good to you this morning, if your body's just saying, I don't think I'm ready for that, not quite ready for that level, that's totally fine. Just pick whatever level of intensity that you are able to comfortably, safely do today, and that's perfect. All movement is movement. It's all good. So whatever level of intensity you are at is fantastic. Remember, you are in neutral spine, have a little bit of a gap between your back and the mat, and you are breathing. Remember to breathe. Very good. Let's just do a couple more so you'll finish up whatever side you started on. Very good. Just bring the knees into your chest and let your lower back sink down into the mat. Take a big breath for me. Well done. Good. All right, we're going to go into ab prep. So feet back down on the mat, knees are bent. What we're going to do in this position, you're still in neutral. And we are really going to focus in a little bit more on those abs. So I want you to send your arms out long at your sides, shoot energy out through your fingertips, and I want you to lift your head and your shoulders, but then just stop right there. So we're not doing a full crunch where we come all the way up. We are going to stop right at that breastbone region, right about where your bra strap might end, and then we're just going to lay our head back down. So this is going to engage your entire abdominal wall. Exhale and come up. Really hold it there and come back down. We never want to hold our breath, so we always want to make sure that we are breathing through the movements. So whatever pattern of breath feels good to you is great. I think it's most common to exhale on the exertion. So whatever feels good to you is great. Keep going with your ab prep here. You can hold it just for a second at the top. We move nice and slow so that our movements are able to be controlled and not sporadic. Doing really good. I also want you to visualize as we're doing these moves that you have a little orange tucked between your chin and your chest. This is going to keep a proper amount of distance between your chin and your chest, which is going to keep your upper spine safe so your chin's not crushed to your chest, and it's also not too extended because that's not good for your neck either. So just try to visualize that you're holding a little orange between your chin and your chest. It's a good distance to have between chin and chest. All right, next time we are up in this position, we are going to do some oblique side reaches. So all I want you to do is just reach your right hand towards your right ankle. You may or may not be able to touch it. I'm not really able to touch it, and that's totally fine. And then come back to center and then reach your left hand to your left side. So you're really just swiveling on about your mid back. Remember, in this position, you still have neutral spine. So that teacup is still nice and steady on your lower stomach. You still have a gap between the mat and the back, and you are definitely still breathing in this position. Anytime we hold our breath when we exert our bodies in movement, it actually puts unnecessary pressure on our pelvic floor and it weakens our pelvic floor. So we never, never, never want to hold our breath. If you need a break, you can absolutely come down and just breathe for a second and then come back up, because these are hard. You're doing hard things today already before 8 a.m. Amazing job. All right, come on down and hug those knees to the chest again. Big breaths for me. And really good. All right, we're gonna do a couple more things in this position before we change to the next series. So I want you to come up into ab prep again in this position, and we're gonna do what we did with those tabletop toe taps earlier. So you're gonna bring your legs to tabletop, and then we're just gonna do toe taps in this position with your head and your shoulders lifted. But if this feels too intense for you, 100% just drop your head back down, and you're totally still gonna get ab work. It's just, again, choosing your intensity level this morning. This would just be a progression of your tabletop toe taps. So it's a good way to just test it out, see how it feels in your body, see if your body is ready to be pushed to do this move. And if it is, that's awesome. And if it's not, that's fine. Remember to breathe. Nice and slow movements, intentionally moving each limb. Good job. All right, now in this position, go ahead and put your hands behind your head. So it'll support your neck a little bit. Really make sure that your elbows are nice and wide in this position, and we're gonna do crisscross. So I want you to reach your left leg long as you twist over to the right, and then bring your leg back, and then switch sides. Instead of thinking about reaching your elbow towards your knee, I want you to think about really trying to reach toward your armpit to get your armpit closer to your knee, which is gonna cause you to kind of try to lift your shoulders a bit more, as opposed to when we try to get our elbow over, sometimes we just move our elbow, and we just move our elbow across our body, which actually doesn't work out your abs. So we want to think about reaching through our armpits to the opposite knee. Finish whatever side you're on, and then we're just gonna pull our knees to our chest again. Great job, effectively burning out the core this morning. Amazing job. Send your arms long to your side so you're kind of in a T shape, and just drop your knees to the right so that it stretches out those oblique muscles on the left side, and let your gaze kind of go over to the left as well, to that far hand. Try to keep your left shoulder blade down on the ground too. That'll deepen the stretch in your side. Deep breaths. Just releasing all that work we just did. We're just gonna switch sides with this supine waist stretch. The knees drop to the other side. This one always feels really good. Really good to work your spine in all planes of motion. So this would be a good spine rotation that's really good to incorporate in your daily stretches, daily movement. Very good. Okay, we are going to come up into 4-point kneeling now. So on your knees and your hands, we're going to just do a little checklist in this position as well to make sure that you are nice and safe. So I really want all 5 fingers spread, or all 10 fingers rather, spread out on your mat, palms pressing down into the ground. But if that's uncomfortable for your wrists, you definitely can come up on your fists, and that'll take a little bit of the pressure off of your wrists. Either way is totally fine. And then I want you to think about, with your spine being nice and strong, as opposed to dipping your spine down or arching it up toward the sky. I want it to be nice and flat. So picture, think park bench. Like if you are a park bench, someone could come sit on your back and it wouldn't dip. You wouldn't be overcompensating the other direction either. We're just going to start with some bird dogs. So I want you to extend your left leg long and your right hand long, so opposing limbs here. And we're just going to lift them up at the same time and bring them down. Just a little lift and lower. So you're going to feel this a little bit in your shoulder. You're definitely going to feel this in your glutes and that booty. And I only want you to go as high up in both limbs as you're able to, while maintaining that kind of park bench flatness in your back. So I don't want you to be arching or dipping your spine so that you can get your leg higher. That's not moving in a safe way. So we want to make sure that we're maintaining proper form as we push ourselves in these moves. That's kind of the sweet spot where you're pushing yourself while maintaining proper form. That's where the strength is going to happen. Doing really good. We're about halfway through class right now. So next time you get the limbs up, I want you to hold them there, and we're just going to squeeze your elbow to your knee in an ab crunch, and then elongate the limbs back out. And again, exhale on the crunch. Inhale as you extend. And this is pretty difficult for your balance. So if you're having a hard time balancing, you can definitely just put your right arm down and crunch your leg in. That'll still give you a great burn in your core, but it won't test your balance quite as much. Very good. Let's just do one more. Good job. All right, go ahead and set that right leg down, or excuse me, your right arm down. And I want you to come down onto your right elbow while your left arm is still nice and long and your left leg is still extended behind you. If you need to take a break and bring it down, by all means. But what we're going to do is some long leg sweeps in this position. So I don't want you to be collapsed in your upper body, nice and strong in the shoulders. Your abs are engaged in this position. What we're going to do is just sweep our leg forward as far as you're able to, and then sweep it back. Now, depending on how far you bring your leg up, that'll kind of determine how difficult the move is, obviously. So even if you're only tapping it to the outside of your mat, honestly, there's no way that you can't feel this move in your booty, regardless of how far you bring your leg forward. I would say that the farther you bring it towards your upper body, you're going to feel it more in your abs and your obliques. And I also really want you to think about how this move is not coming from momentum. So you're not swinging your leg forward and back. You are placing it in both spots, okay? So using the strength of your abs, of your booty, of your hamstrings, you are intentionally, slowly placing that leg out, okay? Go ahead and hold it back. I want you to bend your knee and flex your foot. We're just gonna do some donkey kicks in this position. So bring your knee down to the mat and then slowly push it back up. Think about moving through like as if you were in water doing this move. So nice and slow, again, not using momentum in this position. You'll also notice that the leg that's on the ground, your right leg, that booty cheek is also super burning in this position. She is stabilizing too. She's working too. This is a full lower body move right here. Doing great. These are not easy. Go ahead and let's hold it at the top and just give me some pulses at the top, okay? Just pulse up, 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 really at your own pace. You're not going for range of motion here. We are just doing little pulses about an inch up and down. So good. All right, bring it down. You did that. That was hard. Okay, we're going to do a pigeon stretch just to release those muscles we just worked. So go ahead and scoot your hands out a couple inches in front of you, and we're going to take that working leg, that left leg, and scoot it forward toward that left wrist, and then just shift your shin so it's underneath your body now, and then slide that long leg behind you back a little more. So you'll feel the stretch all through your hamstrings and your booty in this position. I love this stretch. It feels so good. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can always move your hands a little bit more forward, or you can come down on your elbows. I want to make sure that you're not collapsing over to the side of the long leg. Really try to push your body over onto that bent leg, and you'll feel the stretch more so in that position. Deep breaths for me. Very good. Only 30 minutes today, but we're making it count. All right, we're gonna switch, just come out of that position nice and slow, kind of tangled up your body there. We're gonna switch sides and do that series again. So 4-point kneeling on the other side. All 10 fingers are spread nice and wide on the mat. You are in a park bench stance. So your spine is nice and strong. And we're going to extend the right leg long, left arm long. And we're going to lift and lower. This is also super challenging for your balance. So at any time, you can definitely just put your arm down, and that will help with your balance a lot. But you'll still be getting work in the lower body. Great job. You're still breathing, your abs are still on, and you're only lifting your leg as high as you're able to while maintaining that nice, stable, strong spine. Really great job. Be nice and whatever pace feels good to you. Next time you get those limbs up, let's do those ab crunches. So elbow to knee, elbow to knee. Maybe it feels good to exhale on the exertion. Also make sure that you're not moving your head around a bunch, so you're not looking down towards your knee and then stretching your face up to the sky. Ooh, my ponytail's in the way. We want to keep our face, our gaze down toward the mat the whole time. Really good. Let's just do one more. And elongate, and then set that left arm down, and we're going to come down onto our left elbow while the right arm is still long. And again, we're going to do those long leg sweeps with the right leg. Okay, so place it slowly and with intention in front of you, and then sweep it to the back. Not using momentum and only going as far as you are able to. I feel this everywhere. I feel this in my bent leg that was just working a minute ago. I feel this in my right glute, my right hamstring. My abs are on fire. My shoulders are tired. We're doing some good work. You are doing amazing. So good. All right, next time we get our leg back extended long, go ahead and bend the knee and flex the foot. We're going to do donkey kicks in this position. So knee down to the mat and then push it up to the sky. Pretend like you have a stamp on the bottom of your foot and you're just stamping the sky or your ceiling or wherever you are right now. Focus on really the engagement coming from your glutes. I'll remind you to not dip or arch your spine. Your spine is super stable right now. Very still, very strong. So good. Next time we have it at the top, let's go ahead and just pulse it. Squeeze your booty cheek. I feel this kind of in my underbutt region. I feel this in my hamstrings. Stamp the sky. Remember to breathe. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, let's do that pigeon stretch to release that, okay? So slide your hands out just a little bit, and then we're gonna bring our knee up to our right wrist and slide our shin under our body, and then slide that long leg behind you back out behind you a little further, and you'll feel that stretch through the side body there. Very, very good. Beautiful job. If you want it a little deeper, remember you can slide your hands out a bit more. So good. All right, we have about 5 minutes left of class. So We're going to finish up with a prone series, meaning down on your tummy. So go ahead and slide both legs out long and widen them to the length, or excuse me, to the width of your mat. I want you to think about pushing your pubic bone down into the mat, which is going to cause your glutes to engage. And I want you to think about that transversus abdominis, those deep abs engaging in this position as well. So nice activated body all throughout, and bring your chest down to the ground. We're just going to do some shoulder lifts in this position. So go ahead and set your forehead down on your stacked hands. I'm going to bring my head up so I can talk to you. And then what you're going to do is just lift through. I want you to think about like squeezing your shoulder blades together. So if you had a pencil in between your shoulder blades, you're going to squeeze those together so much that it causes your upper body to come up with your forehead on your hands, and then lay it back down, retract your shoulder blades, and lift up that upper body. Booty is on, pubic bone is pressing down into the mat. Just keep going with your own pace with these moves. Remember to breathe. It's very, very easy to forget to move, to breathe when we're in this tummy down position. Lift up through the upper body. This is so good for your posture. So good for your back muscles. One more and lift. So good. Go ahead and just bring your head down. We're going to rest and just sway your hips side to side to release that back work. So good. All right, we're going to do a similar move, but we're going to change the position of our arms. So I want you to bring your arms out to the width of your mat with your palms facing one another, pinkies down on the ground, and you are still going to have your gaze facing down toward the mat. So nose toward the mat. That orange is between your chin and your chest. Your abs are on, your glutes are on, your feet are pressing down into the mat. And we're going to, again, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift your upper body. Lift your arms off the ground and then bring it back down, nose to mat. Inhale and exhale, lift. And bring it back down. And just keep going at your own pace, remembering to breathe. Spinal extension is so good for our spinal health because we really don't move in this direction, in this way in our daily lives. So this is great extension. So good. Give me one more. Great job. Those are super hard. So go ahead and bring your head down and you can just sway again those hips side to side. Great job. Go ahead and push yourself back to child's pose. So knees are nice and wide on the mat, and extend your arms out in front of you and just breathe for me. Great job. Stretching out that back. You can rest your forehead down on the mat if that feels good. Great job. All right, let's go ahead and just do one last quickie little arm burn, okay? So we're gonna do angel arms. So you can just be in a seated position with your legs crossed on your knees, whatever feels good to you. You're gonna have your abs on in this position, and we're just gonna send our arms out long in either direction, really activate the muscles in your arms. And we're going to lift up the right arm while holding the left straight and then bring it back down. And we're gonna stay on the right side. We call these angel arms. You can have a nice fluid wrist. Just go at your own pace, making sure that your upper body is not swaying and is not moving with the arm. The arm is the only thing moving in this position, okay? Let's go ahead and switch arms. So right arm is out nice and long and the left arm is going to do the movement now. This is great for your shoulders. I love weightless arm series. They're so difficult and they look so easy, but they are very, very effective. Doing great. I love to end class with a nice quick arm burn. Let's do both arms at the same time now. So both arms up, try to bring your wrists as close together as you can above your head and then back down. This is our last push. Amazing job. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your arms out to the side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing job. Wow, you did so good. Just because it's beginner doesn't mean that it's easy, okay? So you just completed a 30-minute beginner Pilates class. Let's go ahead and just stretch out your arms a little bit, get the blood flowing back into your arms. However that feels good to you, you can stretch your arm across your chest. Deep breaths. You worked everything from the bottom of your toes to the top of your head today. You have done a good thing for your body today, and not just for your body, also for your mind, because movement metabolizes stress. So amazing job. I'm so glad that you joined me today. If you need to stretch out anything else in your body that feels like it needs a little extra love, please go ahead and do that. My next class is on Monday evening, so if you would like to join me for that, shoot me a message. And as always, I would love to hear your thoughts on this class. Give me some feedback and definitely tell your friends and family about Pilates classes with me. And yeah, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Saturday.